the fight's going to be boring as hell. Because any fight he's in is boring as hell.
Shakur is a really good boxer.
He's a good boxer, but it's nothing that stands out to me. It's just, okay, you know how to move, boom, 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 but it's nothing like Tank or me or
like somebody got to stand out.
Like
like you're not just fighting
I
anybody.
see boxers all the time. I've been watching boxers my whole life. I know the ones that are different. He's not different. Shakur will do everything, not even to get like an ounce of hitting. Like he's scared to really lock in and get in there. Devin's not.
But Shakur, that guy will put anybody to sleep outside the ring, not inside the ring, because he's the most boring fighter in the history of boxing. And they say whatever they want, they can hype him up and all that stuff, but I really feel bad for him because there's no way they could put him on pay-per-view. He can't sell a fight.
Boxing experts are analyzing Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson, with numerous forecasting Shakur shall utilize mobility and protection. Detractors characterize his method as retreating and tedious, while others contend it represents elite-level ring intelligence.
Think about the criticism that Shakur gets. Like, people say that he's
boring and all that. Yeah.
He's not entertaining.
I mean, look, he's like the Andre Ward style. Andre Ward wasn't really that entertaining, but got the win. I mean, that's what boxing is all about. So I used to love watching Andre Ward fight because it was so punch perfect. I watched his footwork, how he'd move to the right, to the left, and I trained with him as well, with Virgil. And I used to watch how he trained and how he fought, and I thought how he puts his hands there and uses it as a defense, and then pulls your hands down and catches you over the top, and them little things. So this is a fight that people get, because you got two different styles. You got an offensive, defensive in Lopez, and you've got a defensive in.
As the boxing community prepares for one of the most anticipated battles of early 2026, conversation has revolved not merely on who will triumph, but additionally on how the encounter will develop.
To explosiveness, I would have to go with Teo. When it comes to actual rapid speed, I would have to go with Teo. But when it comes to body punching, when it comes to good timing, when it comes to craft, I would have to give all of that to Shakur Stevenson.
What do you think, Doug?
They're both boxers. I look at Stevenson as a versatile technician. I look at Teofimo. He's a boxer puncher, but his specialty is his counter punching. Listen, if Stevenson wants to be on his stick and move game, very difficult style matchup for Teofimo, and maybe not that entertaining to the fans.
Because Stevenson's longer.
Exactly.
Stevenson's defense probably the best in the game, and he's longer.
Great reflexes and timing, and so does Teo. That's why he's a great counterpuncher. But Teo's, he's a very special athlete, and as a competitor, he is one of those guys who saves his A game for a fellow elite opponent. That's when he really rises his game and shows us the Teofimo Lopez that everybody thought he was when he was a.
Shakur Stevenson, the undefeated WBC lightweight title holder, is extensively celebrated for his defensive sorcery. His capacity to employ footwork, positioning, and range control has rendered him exceptionally challenging to strike. This methodology has garnered him both acclaim for technical genius and disapproval for not producing aggression every moment of a contest.
135 contemporaries have a lot to say these days. Shakur Stevenson, well, of course, he's now 135 after all that stuff, and then Devin Haney.
Right, so why people even talk like he the best at, he didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 30, or none of that.
He is good.
Okay. How can you, all that's just okay. How can you stop people that can actually hit? No matter all that boxing, you're going to get hit.
Teofimo Lopez, conversely, is famous for his explosiveness, force, and hostility. As a previous unified title holder at lightweight and currently a reigning WBO champion at super lightweight, Lopez's strategy is constructed around attacking adversaries and delivering significant blows. This is the ultimate test of power.
We haven't seen him around 140. We have seen Teofimo do good at 140, so it's a tricky one. I think it's a 50-50 chess game inside that ring.
If you had to give somebody 51, the other guy 49, like the smallest
head. You're gonna put him in the spot. But only because I fought him before. I'll give him that 1% to Shakur because I've fought him. I've never stepped in the ring with Teofimo. I've seen him fight, and I've seen him personally spar, and I've seen him. He's an amazing fighter. But I will only give him that one to Shakur because I've stepped in the ring with him.
Against a rival like Stevenson, who depends significantly on mobility, Lopez trusts his method of aggression, and sequences can disturb the southpaw's flow. Peak performance.
Number one, in boxing, so to speak, he's coming for my crown at the, super lightweight division. And honestly, nevertheless, it's all about the fans.
Who has a better resume between you two guys, do you think?
Man, I'll tell you again, honestly, it doesn't matter until we hang up the gloves. I think that we still have such a long, depending how well we do with our health, we got a long career ahead of us, man. So this is just something for everybody for 2026. We started off with a bang, and we go from.
Meanwhile, Tim Bradley stresses that Shakur can maintain aggression, employing his jab and feints to destabilize Teofimo and dominate the tempo without requiring any retreating or excessive running. Pure control.
Shakur ain't got a really move. Yeah, it sounds crazy. Shakur can actually walk to Teo. Yeah, he can walk to Teo. Yeah, long as he walk behind with the jab, long as he walk behind with feints, because feints throw off Teo. Jabs throw off Teo as well. He's a counterpuncher. Yeah, he's a counterpuncher. So if you can keep him off balance and keep him guessing, keeping that jab in his face, and you force him back, yeah, he moves his feet, but he makes a lot of mistakes. Gets himself out of position a lot of times. He's out of position a lot of the times, man. Brings those feet together at times. Oh, yeah. When he moves side to side, same thing. He responsibly defensively, nah. When he disengages, defense is whack. Trash. Yeah. When he resets, a lot of time he comes in the range, he's standing straight up. Come on, man. Shakur can take advantage of Teo not being that great on the inside, not being that great at mid-range.
He observes that Teofimo frequently loses alignment and recovers clumsily, enabling Shakur to hold his position, anticipate strikes, and utilize his ring intellect rather than perpetually circling the square. Absolute tactical mastery.
He ain't got to run from Teo. Nah, he can stand right in front of Teo. He could. Yeah. And see all them shots coming. For sure. You already know the punch selection that he gonna use. Punch selection gonna be he gonna try to use his jab at a rapid pace. Of course. He gonna try to out-jab Shakur. Of course. Flicking it out there, flicking his jab out there, man. Trying to get some sort of response. Or flicking it out there, trying to just close the gap on Shakur. And he gonna throw the right hand downstairs. Yeah. That's what he gonna do. He gonna be looking for that right hand, then he gonna try to sneak him up top. Yeah. It's plain and simple. Sneak him up top. That's it. But if Shakur can stand his ground, if Shakur can evade and get right back in his space, right back in his face, man, evade and get right back in his face, right? When he's not set or ready to punch, when them feet are spread apart, Shakur can walk to him. Shakur can walk to him.
Lopez maintains he is preparing to knock out Shakur Stevenson and validate himself, particularly because he has not achieved a major stoppage recently. He is concentrated on delivering that lethal punch instead of merely attempting to outpoint him. Maximum destructive intent.
I would consider you, out of you and Shakur, I would consider you the more explosive, possibly the more speed concerning like getting to the target quicker. But I haven't seen you really get the type of knockouts that made the fans appeal to the whole package and the whole system of you. Are you training?
You mean at 140 pounds compared to 135? Yeah,
yes, in comparison. Yeah. Are you training for a knockout? Are you training to do something to not just beat Shakur, but to beat him in grand fashion? And when I say grand fashion, I mean going for the knockout.
Well, I think that the whole thing is the Bible of boxing really is that if you look for the knockout, you won't get it. I think really it's just all about setting the good pace early in the beginning rounds and then going from there, setting that tone. I think that I don't see him going those 12 rounds. This is his first time moving up to 140. A lot of these guys can say a lot of things about me not knocking them out or whatnot, but they don't come and try to fight me after they feel this power. So it's for a reason. It carries. It does carry. I mean, I had a good showing with Arnold Barboza. He was number one, my mandatory, and he didn't. He was too hesitant trying to commit to punches. So I think that it's just something that's going to be a rude awakening for Shakur.
Hey, Doug, you hear that? He said the Bible of boxing. What else is called the Bible of boxing? Ring Magazine. And he's a two-division
Yeah,
Ring Magazine
a
champ.
great
Not too many of them.
ambassador for those championship belts as well.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm very big on those things. You know, I claimed 2 weight divisions, 2 Ring Magazine belts just at 25. You know, and I'm 28 now. I've been defending my belts now. I feel great. You know, and then most importantly, you know, this will be my 4th title defense with the Ring and the WBO junior welterweight world division.
Stevenson has discussed capitalizing on Lopez's vulnerabilities and tackling this bout not merely with mobility, but with assurance in his complete expertise. He maintained he can reveal defects in Lopez's strategy if implemented accurately. Total tactical dominance.
I'm like locked in and I'm focused on what I'm supposed to be doing. Nothing else matters around me. That 4-weight world champion, it means everything to me. That's me separating myself. A lot of these guys that they claim is the guys nowadays, none of them can say that they are a 4-weight world champion. He got a lot of weaknesses, though. He's a very good fighter, but I do see a lot of weaknesses. He's not going to correct them overnight. It's going to be the same Teo that we done seen 1,000 times before. He's going to come out there trying to perform highly, and I'm going to take advantage of it. But as far as the weaknesses, I'm going to keep them to myself.
Lopez concurrently has retaliated with commentary intended to demonstrate that Stevenson's status is exaggerated. He has labeled Stevenson overhyped and vowed to prove that his defensive methods are not impenetrable. Rendering the combat messy and coercing Stevenson into awkward trades remains Lopez's public narrative. Pure hostility.
Stablemates, me and Shakur, top rank. He talks about this and that and about I was jealous of him. No, I'm not. You were a 2016 USA silver medalist. You're gonna get your signing bonus and all that extra stuff. Thing was, they were trying to secure him in a different route because they had put a lot of money in him. Me, I think I was just supposed to be an opponent of it.
Lopez has even proposed that Stevenson is reluctant to absorb blows and must conquer that anxiety to triumph. These remarks ignite a narrative where Lopez attempts to bait Stevenson into a more hostile engagement, a tactical collision that could definitively determine whether mobility or relentless pressure dominates the squared circle. Total war.
It's limitless though, you know, so then again, it's like I could always succeed to another level with it, you know, and exceed to it. So it's really just trying to just keep it going, you know, keep moving forward throughout the whole time and throughout the whole process, and mainly just have fun with it. You know, you gotta have fun with what you do. You know, I love this. You know, I haven't stopped doing what I've done because of the fact that I enjoy what I do. You know, this has been 20 years in the making, 20 years in this. You know, and I have so much to do and so much to prove within myself. So mentally, I'm prepared. Physically, I'm more than ready. You know, and emotionally, oh, I'm on fire. You know, I'm on fire with it. You know, because all I ever did was try to be great. You know, and it's no longer trying. I am. You know, I am great. And it's all about just continuing and holding that. So it's all about just staying humble throughout the process, keeping myself level-headed, and really just enjoying each day that we get because tomorrow's never promised.
Shakur's lead hook and Philly shell protection remain vital instruments within his blueprint against Teofimo. The Philly shell enables him to safeguard his skull while remaining in proximity to retaliate efficiently, allowing him to endure or parry approaching strikes without distress or withdrawing. By remaining tranquil and utilizing this defensive posture, Shakur can anticipate vulnerabilities, rendering it simpler to synchronize his responses. His lead hook becomes particularly lethal when Teofimo is unstable, as it can capitalize on instances when Teofimo overextends or misplaces himself. Integrated with deceptions and clever movement, these assets permit Shakur to command the tempo, regulate the spacing, and transformed defensive intervals into aggressive prospects, optimizing his possibilities to deliver monumental, fight-altering blows. This technical superiority is exactly why Shakur remains a champion.
Yeah, Shakur going to that damn Mayweather defense, Philly shell, that left hook is coming. He gonna be looking for that mug all night long. That left hook, left hook, left hook. But just keep Teofimo off balance. That's all he gotta do is keep him off balance, man. Throwing them feints, fighting him off that jab, bro, it's gonna break his rhythm up, boy. He gonna struggle. He gonna have a hard time. But, you know, Kambosos didn't rush in at him. Kambosos stayed underneath himself, stayed right there in front of him. That was it. Held his ground. That was it. Anytime Lopez would do something, Kambosos come right back with counters. Yeah, but he stayed close enough to get Lopez to react. And a lot of times Lopez fought angry that fight. So he left himself wide the hell open.
Ryan Garcia claims he would wager his funds on Shakur Stevenson, yet also confesses he would not be startled if Teofimo Lopez achieves the upset against Stevenson. Garcia informed journalists that while he believes Lopez might grapple with Stevenson's smooth defensive methodology, he could be undervaluing Teofimo slightly. And if Lopez adapts and delivers force and aggression, he could astonish everyone with a victory. Garcia's perspective mirrors admiration for both athletes' talents and strength, recognizing Stevenson's boxing intellect while also identifying Teofimo's danger if he implements his offensive strategy effectively. Total unpredictability.
Won't be surprised if Teofimo surprises us all, for sure.
Yeah.
I think I'm underestimating Teofimo a little bit, but I don't think he can make the necessary adjustments to his own style to combat what Shakur does best. But he could definitely prove me wrong, for sure. And I won't be surprised.
Okay. Guess obviously if you win this fight, you're going straight to the Haney rematch, right?
And there's a bunch of options on the door. You got Conor Ben. I know they made that as a mandatory, so we could explore that option. There's so many different options, but we're ready for it.
Lamont Roach Jr. perceives no situation where Teofimo Lopez defeats Shakur Stevenson. Roach has supported Stevenson to triumph in their upcoming super lightweight collision, stating Shakur's elite boxing intellect and elusive methodology will aggravate Lopez and probably clinch him the win. He observed that Lopez typically falters against technical pugilists and maintains Stevenson's mobility and blueprint are robust enough to outbox Teofimo instead of permitting him to exert his force. Roach's forecast mirrors admiration for Stevenson's ring command and assurance that his stylistic pairing functions excellently against Lopez. Although Lopez contributes strength and hostility, Roach still prefers Stevenson's strategic advantage in this crucial encounter. This analysis underscores the massive gap in pure boxing skill.
I think wins that fight between him and Teofimo Lopez if they fight.
I think Shakur wins. And I don't think it's going to be like a super tough fight either. His IQ will frustrate him.
Don't you think Teo has also good ring IQ and also is slick, fast?
I think
explosive?
so, but when you look at Teo's performances against guys that are just pure boxers, it's just like he almost lost to Sandor Martin. Some people thought he lost to Sandor Martin.
He did beat Loma, who's arguably at the time considered one of the best in the world.
He did, and that was one of a performance too. So yeah, I mean, I think he's hit or miss. You got to think he got stuff. He a little cuckoo too. Like he has like a little mental lapses every once in a while. Look at the Kambosos fight. Like that's a fight that people would never expect Kambosos to win, and he won a grueling match against him as well. So I just I don't know. I don't think he can get it done against Shakur when it comes to like because it's going to be just a skill match. I don't think he's going to try to. Or he's going to try to rough Shakur up, and there's probably...
Shakur Stevenson intends to tackle the confrontation with command, endurance, and brilliance, concentrating on decelerating the tempo and compelling Teofimo Lopez to function completely on his conditions. His objective is to command spacing, synchronization, and flow, transforming every trade into a delicate notification of who remains superior inside the ropes. By staying regulated, tranquil, and defensively solid, Shakur maintains he can progressively exhaust Teofimo psychologically before shattering him physically. Technically, he anticipates that irritation will accumulate as clinical chances become more difficult to locate, resulting in errors and vulnerabilities. Once that mental superiority is guaranteed, Stevenson predicts the bout to lean decisively in his direction, enabling his accuracy, rhythm, and combat intellect to dominate and govern the final result from commencement until completion. This is a masterclass in psychological warfare.
Demolishment. We're gonna demolish. The guy's way too slow. Sport's too sharp, too fast, too strong.
Stevenson has exhaustively charted his blueprint for confronting Teofimo Lopez, and it is constructed around dominance on both the corporal and psychological sectors. He intends to interrupt Lopez's flow and aggravate him mentally by employing agile footwork, persistent deceptions, and sharp retaliations to keep Teofimo unstable. Rather than merely withdrawing, Stevenson desires to make Lopez fail repeatedly, compel him to overextend, and drain his assurance period after period. By withholding spacing and tempo, he aspires to regulate the speed and coerce Lopez into committing errors, transforming pressure into possibility, and clinching transparent segments through deliberate accuracy. This is absolute tactical brilliance.
You're specifically working on for this camp compared to the other camps you've done?
I think right now we're just trying to stay mentally sharp. I don't want to go in there and try to make it a firefight. I just want to box him and pick his brain and beat him up, make him want to quit. Mentally break somebody down, it's like I'm hitting you and you can't get anything back. That's frustrating for certain people. After a while, people start to quit.
As combat night nears, specialists stay conflicted regarding Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson, yet a transparent motif has surfaced. This represents a collision of opposing methodologies with distinct trajectories toward triumph. Shakur Stevenson arrives as the gambling frontrunner, broadly anticipated to utilize superior range command, acute synchronization, and mobility to outmaneuver Lopez across 12 intervals, a strategic blueprint that several supporters categorize as tedious retreating. Numerous commentators forecast Stevenson's approach will aggravate Lopez and clinch him a points victory, although perspectives differ on enjoyment magnitude. Conversely, Lopez maintains he is gearing to strike his path to glory, hungry to demonstrate detractors incorrect and deliver the sort of stoppage that has bypassed him lately. Fundamentally, the encounter might depend on whether Lopez's force can interrupt Stevenson's flow or if Stevenson's accuracy and ring intellect will triumph. This remains the ultimate chess match with massive consequences for boxing's hierarchy.
That Shakur is very passionate about the sport. He's a kid that has always wanted to be considered the best in the sport. From the amateurs till now, he wants to be pound for pound top dog. He wants to be on Mount Rushmore, so on and so forth. Teofimo, I feel that he's had that passion, right? But he's had lapses to at times where he thought about even quote unquote retired and said he was done with this game. Now, I don't know if that helps you because it creates this chip on your shoulder as a fighter to keep continuing to prove the world wrong that you are one of the best, or if it psychologically affects you against a guy like Shakur.
When you go against a guy like Shakur reminds me of Bud Crawford. You can't have those lapses. You can't have that kind of mindset. And I think, Teo's been very vocal about the things that he struggled with. And, he was going through a divorce and all of these things were making it really, really hard for him to focus on his first love. But that's the thing. Recently, he said he came back to his first love. He remembers that this is what got him everything he has. And he's back in love with boxing. And that's what we've been wanting to hear. And when we see a Teo like that, he's sharp against Josh Taylor. When we see a Teo like that, he's sharp against Lomachenko and also willing to fight all these guys. Now think about this. I know we call big, heavy punches the boogeyman, but usually the boogeyman is the guy that's hard to beat. And Shakur, nobody really wanted to fight him. And once again, Teofimo Lopez is fighting a danger.
What are your thoughts? Will Shakur dominate the bout with mobility and intellect, or can Teofimo's force and hostility seize the victory? Let us know.